So we have a shortage with homes. Plus, this is interesting, a lot of people don't mention this, but this has consequences not just in homes but in businesses as well, and that is that back when Ray O'Connor was a kid in the 1950s and 60s, each home had approximately 4 kids at the home. It was 3.79 kids per family. So that's 4 kids, 2 parents, 6 people per house. Now the birth rate is 1.62. So in essence, you have 2 parents, 1 kid, so 3 people per home versus 6 people per home. So you need twice as many homes. Just simple demographics and math. Also, of course, Grand Island is twice the size it was back in 1971. So you need 20 homes. So twice as many homes, population, plus the families are smaller. So that's a lot more homes. From the year 2010 to current day, Nebraska has been picking up 45,000 people per year, but we're losing 50,000. So that's a net loss of 5,000 per year. So what do we need to do with that? When people move from one state to another, they list that, this just came out just a week ago from the National Realtors Association. They said the number one thing that people consider when they're moving from state to state, and that is available homes. That's number one. 42% states say that. Number 2, it was moving closer to family. That was 26%, and 16% said that they're moving due to their business, their jobs. So when we talk about rural workforce housing, I believe in allowing the marketplace to reach its own equilibrium, and I'm not really a big one in terms of having government help in this matter, but sometimes things are not black and white. So you have to use a little bit of discretion.
Working locally in this community on how we can address, how kids, how we can keep kids out of detention, how we can keep them out of the juvenile justice system, and work with them and their families to provide them a better opportunity. So I know working on with the Central Community College, I know there's some things that we would like to see maybe happen to make sure that we can help kids with like dual credits and those type of things. So that's something that not only on the Central Community College board, but I was also on the Nebraska Community College Association board. And so we talked about those issues quite a bit. So making sure there's opportunities for kids to go into maybe into the trades as well. We've got a shortage of welders, we've got a shortage of electricians, plumbers. So there's a great opportunity for kids as well as adults through the community college system to have that access. So, but I look forward to getting back down there, working with everyone here in the community, and thank you for your time, and I look forward to working with all of you.
Fentanyl and everything else, and the vaping issue is just killing me when I'm talking to 5th graders, and I ask them how many of them have seen a classmate vape, and every one of them raise their hands. And that's in Hastings, Nebraska. That's in Grand Island, Nebraska. I can't imagine Chicago and Lincoln and Omaha and some of the larger places, but and I have to tell them, don't put your friend out before I ask this question, because they will, but they all have seen someone vape, and that's insane. So one of the bills I'm working on is to limit the flavors of vaping. When I left ASAP, Area Substance and Alcohol Abuse Prevention, in May there were 4,300 flavors of vape. Now they've added some flavors. The state of New York has got it down to 2 flavors. They sell menthol and tobacco flavor. I gotta believe that will curb a lot of 13-year-olds' appetites for sticking a vape pen in their mouth.
One of the bills that I've been approached is about an education about banning the cell phones in the schools, and even for the teachers. Because how can you pay attention when you're on that phone? We've looked at, as adults even, we're on that phone way too much, and we don't focus on the teacher or the education part of it. We've got I tell my youth group when I teach, it says, you got to be more disciplined and a good wrestler. Put that phone aside and focus on it so you can learn. And that's one of the bills I was looking at, and we've already talked about a little bit about education in general. I don't think it's broke, but we've got to sit there and go, can the money follow the kids? That's what I was looking at. Iron sharpens iron. We need competition. If I'm gonna be a better wrestler, I gotta have somebody in the wrestling to push me. And that's what we gotta do in our schools. We gotta push one another to get better. If we're gonna retain people in this state, we gotta keep them here and understand why we want you here. And being in the ag district, like I said, I can relate with all the farmers and ranchers. One of the issues that was brought up to me was about branding. And of course, Hall County doesn't have a brand inspection, but there's a lot of dollars that set in there that the feedlots are paying that they should.
I talked to Senator Clouse on the boys and girls sports. That's one that I said I'll support that because eliminating that because Kearney Public Schools did that. One of the few school districts in the state that took the position says we're not going to allow that. And so I'm on board with that. We'll see how that goes through the legislature.